Dream, what a fortune! Two beggars and friends roamed through the world, each having a bag over their shoulder, a cane, and a hat. Their destination they left up to chance and destiny. One day, during the great midday heat, they decided to take a break and rest on a beautiful meadow in the shadows of a mighty oak tree. They brought forward bread, cheese, and wine from their bags, and, having eaten and drunk, one of them laid down onto his back, put his shoes under his head, and started to take a nap. He fell asleep immediately. His friend, who was sitting beside him, suddenly saw how a big green fly flew out of the other one's mouth. He pursued the fly with his eyes and saw how it landed on the skull of a dead horse that was already bleached from the sun. He then saw how the fly walked into the skull through one of the eye openings and came out of the other eye again. It got very excited and started to wildly buzz and fly back and forth. Suddenly, all became quiet for a moment. The fly exited the skull again and flew directly back into the mouth of his sleeping friend, who immediately awoke, stretched himself, sat up, and spoke. "Ah, I had a wonderful but a very weird dream." Smilingly, his friend replied, "Is that so? Well, you'd better tell me about your weird dream." "I saw how the two of us had taken a rest on this beautiful meadow under an oak tree, exactly like here, after having had our lunch, and you lay down to sleep. But I wasn't tired, so I got up and took a walk. Suddenly, I stood in front of a huge palace that was all in white. I stood in front of the open gate and shouted out loudly, 'Is anybody here?' But no one replied, and so I curiously entered the palace. I ran up the stairs and repeatedly shouted out, asking if anybody was there. I think because of the echo, my voice sounded a bit like buzzing. I traversed all the rooms of the palace until I was high up on a tower, but no one was there either. Thereupon I descended down into the cellar, where a beautiful large chest was standing. Slowly and carefully I opened it, and it contained plenty of jewels, gold and diamonds, an enormous treasure. As fast as I could, I ran back and tried to wake you up, pulling your shoulders. At that moment, I woke up again." His friend replied, "Well, I have seen something weird too. As soon as you were asleep, I saw how your spirit left your mouth and flew over to that bleached out horse skull over there. Come, let us have a look and find out if dreams are just like bubbles or if they carry a message." The two friends laid the horse skull aside and started to dig. To their surprise, they really surfaced a chest that was filled with gold and rubies. The two beggars cheered, danced, and hugged each other out of joy. With this unexpected wealth, they bought the meadow, and exactly where the horse skull had been, they built a large white palace, exactly like in the dream. This is an excerpt from the book The Storyteller of Algiers, Stories from the Maghreb and Elsewhere, told and published by erzaehler.aceval in 2018. English audio version by erzaehler, published with authorization and explicit encouragement of the author, illustrations and title image by Bendix Bauer. Currently, the book is only available in German. If you are an editor or interested in publishing an English version of the book, please contact the author's son, Hakim Aceval, under hakim@aceval.net. To order an autographed and dedicated copy of the book, please contact the author directly. You will find his email address under www.aceval.net or via his Facebook page.